Hey bookmarks and bookworms, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a super exciting announcement that many of you have been waiting for quite a while now, so I apologise for the slight delay in proceedings. But Women in Translation Month is happening in August. That means it's starting next week, as it's now the 23rd of July, and I am hosting my very first readathon, which is the Women in Translation Month Readathon, which means I have 12 prompts for you. There will be a highlight reel on my Instagram page where you will be able to find all of the Women in Translation prompts, and you can also add in your book title covers into the onto the page. Just cut and paste how you would standard screenshot, cut and paste. I'm sure you all know. So the first one that I've decided to go for is called the Jetsetter. Now this is basically read a book from a country you've never visited before but want to. The second prompt is called Time Machine, and this is read a novel from a different era. So we're heading more towards the classic Women in Translation novels now for this one. The next category is Cinematic Soujourn. This is read a book that has been adapted into a TV series or a movie. The next category is Genre Hopper, and this is basically reading a book by Women in Translation that is from a style or a genre that you don't normally read from. The next one's one of my favourites. It's called Playlist Pages, and this is to read a book from a country and then listen to the music from that country. Choose a Spotify playlist from that country and then listen to it as you are reading that book. I've chosen a German book for this called The End of Days by Jenny Erpenbeck, who won the International Book of this year, but I'm reading a backlist title of hers, and so I'll be trying to find kind of a German playlist that does not contain lyrics, has sort of that background feel to it, and I know it's out there, I know I can do it. The next category is Curb Appeal, and this one is basically choose which book you want to read from the cover, from how amazing and beautiful you think the cover is. The next category is called the Shawty. This is to read a short story or short story collection, novella, something under, I guess, the 200-page mark, so a short one. The next one is called Victoria. This one is to read a prize-winning novel that has been either written by a woman or translated by a woman. The next category is called the Debutante. This is to read a debut novel. Getting into the final three categories, the next one is called the High Priestess. This is to read a novel that is magical realism in tone. Women in Translation Month and translated fiction in general really has a wealth of magical realism influence, and so this should be an easy one for you to find a book for. Isabel Allende comes to mind. Many of her books will be in the realm of this, and so yes, the High Priestess is make it magical. The penultimate category is called the Continental. Now this is to read a book by an author who's from a different continent to you. So for me with this one, I think I might choose Asia or South America. I'm kind of choosing between two right now. And then the last category is our group read, and that I've called Groupies, and this is Isa's Ballad by Magda Sabo. Isa's Ballad is about a woman called Isa whose mother's husband dies, and she insists that her mother move from the Bulgarian countryside to live with her in Budapest for a while. So Etty, her mother, comes to Budapest and is very much displaced in a place that she doesn't know, she's not comfortable with, she doesn't seem to understand the ways that go on there, and she's isolated. She's given up her family home and she's moved in with her daughter. She irritates the maid, she hangs food outside because she doesn't trust the fridge, she invites a prostitute in for tea, and so this is all about this kind of nuclear family dynamic, just this mother-daughter, and that mother trying to get close to a daughter that she's never really gotten to know before. So we have this meeting of the old world and the new world, and it's about the beliefs that we all construct over a lifetime. So join me for this one. If you want to join the book club, it'll be the same principle that I used for my Victober book club last month, which means put a tip of any amount into my tip jar. The link is in the description box below, and then that will get you into the book club, which I run over on the Fable app. There is no designated amount. You can tip $1, $5, $10, open to everybody, and then I'll send you the link so you can get yourself onto the book club, and we'll read Isa's ballads together. So let's go over some book recommendations for the rest of WIT month, just to give you a flavour of what I'm going to be reading and what you could potentially read if any of these appeal to you. So starting with the first book. Coming from Haiti, the first book I want to talk to you about is called Moonbath. This is about a violent family feud. It also is incorporating a lot of Haitian heritage and culture, which often means war and rebellion and violence. So this is a book not for the faint-hearted in its theme and in its tone. We are specifically following 4 generations of Haitian women in the aftermath of them finding a bloody, bruised female corpse wash up on the sand. Next, I want to talk about Vagabonds, which is coming from China. This novel is set in the future, where a delegation of children from Mars have been sent back to Earth to, I guess, trying to acclimatise and assimilate back into life on Earth. This is 100 years after the Martian War, whatever that means. I'm sure that will be explained to us. But it's about when they return and what happens on their return. The next is Portuguese, and it's the Geography of Rebels trilogy. Now, this is 3 interlinked novellas. That's what makes up the trilogy. And this is by an author in Portugal who has achieved almost cult-like level status. This is Maria Gabriela Lansol. So she is all but unknown to English-speaking audiences, but she is very well known to Portuguese-speaking audiences. So what she's doing here is she's blending history, historical figures, poetry, philosophy in a way that evokes Clarice Lispector, if you are a fan of her, and it has that same feeling of writing as life, life as writing. Coming from Japan, the next book is Strange Weather in Tokyo. A young adult woman, probably in her mid-20s, meets one of her former high school teachers at a bar one night, and it is about their rekindling of this relationship. Not necessarily a sexual relationship, but a relationship where they are both quite lonely and need somebody, and they are that person for each other. It's meant to be quite moving, quite funny, quite immersive, following themes that I feel are quite recognisable in Japanese literature, modern Japanese literature, and overall should be quite an understated, calm book of beauty. The next book that you could try is The End of Days by Jenny Erpenbeck. This is the one that I mentioned I was going to be reading, and this is spanning the 20th century German history. It consists of 5 books which all tell the ending of the protagonist's death, just in different ways. And then on the periphery of that, you get the German war history, the historical fiction of the time. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to this one a lot. The next one is from Korea, and this is called A Greater Music. What happens here is that a young woman falls into a canal in Berlin. It's the middle of winter, so she's kind of near death, and that sets off a process of remembering back to when she was living in Korea as a child, and this sort of flashbacking as she's almost sort of like barely conscious. She's also contrasting her relationship with her construction worker boyfriend Joachim with a much gentler relationship she had with her piano teacher, I believe, who was a music-loving German lady called M. And so there's I think a lot of nostalgia going on here, a lot of found family, and also a sense of belonging and place, as she has been in Berlin for 3 years now. But you can't feel like a place is your home, I guess, in such a short amount of time. So that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed all of the prompts, the reading prompts, the 12 challenges, and as I say, you can go over to my Instagram, which is also linked down below, and there will be a highlight reel saved on my profile throughout the month of August for you to use. As I say, screenshot it, you can add your own book covers into it, and yeah, I hope you have a really fun time. I certainly had a fun time creating all of the titles for the prompts and thinking what I would like it to be. So I hope you have a great time with this, and feel free to tag me on Instagram in your stories if you are using the prompts. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below what books you would like to read for WIT month. Do any of them fit the prompts that I have outlined below? I'll put the prompts in the description box as well, just so they're written out in full for you. And I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a happy WIT month, and I shall see you very soon in my next video, which will be my Booker long list reaction video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.